Hello everyone, welcome to IGCSE Accounting. In this video, we will focusing in terms of sources and recording of the data. In here, we will talk about double entry and how it works, some examples of it. Let's start the content. Okay, first of all is the definition of double entry. In this course, you will keep hearing from me about double entry. This is a very important concept and also definition that you need to remember. Your IGCSE account, think these people maybe will ask you to define what is double entry. So how you define? A system of recording business transaction by making two entries. One is debit, the other one is credit for each transaction. What is that means? That means, for example, you are purchasing a car. A car, you have to define that whether you are purchasing on credit, which is you don't pay upfront, and then the seller agrees with that. That is a credit of the sellers. All right, and then you have to the car itself is an asset, so you have to debit the car, the T account. So it consider two sides of entry for two different accounts. One is debit, the other one is credit. I will go through more examples in the later part of it. First of all, for you to define and understand how you're going to enter double entry, this particular three element is so critical for you to remember that. One is asset, which is in your left, right? And then the other side is equity and liability, which is in your right. In the previous course, I did keep mention about asset is equals to liability plus owner equity, which is A equals to L plus E. This relationship is really, really important and for you to remember that. I hope this one make it very clear to you and you can memorize in this part. In the later part of this video, I will explain to you how you apply this theory accordingly. For example, in terms of one asset, for example, is like bank, then when the bank account, the amount is increased, is in debit, which is in your left hand side, increase. If your bank account amount is reducing, then you have to credit, which is in your right hand side. And then when a business, the owner's equity is increased, then you have to do it in the credit side, which is in the right. Or vice versa. Liability is the same concept because liability and equity is in the same side. So when the liability is increased, you have to credit, which is in the right. What is the example of liability? For example, your bank loan. You loan money from the bank. You borrow money from the bank. Then when you borrow the money, the loan is increased, you have to credit, which is in the right. Let's start with the first example. The first example. I would like to explain to you in this particular owner equity of the how you double entry of it. Melissa is setting out a business. On 1st of June, she placed $10,000 into the business bank account. I have to emphasize it's business bank account, not her personal bank account. Enter this transaction into the correct double entry. How will we do it? Let's have a look. Okay, first of all, it's not purchase, it's a bank account. So bank actually is an asset. This is just a hint for you to remember bank is an asset. So when you really in the exam, please don't write asset, you just write bank will do, okay? And then put the date. It happened on 1st of June. How much is that? 10,000. Okay. Remember, just now I mentioned, asset when it's increased is in the left. All right, it's debit, which is here. Okay, so that's why I put here, which is so obvious. And then the other one, Melissa put in the money. So Melissa put in money means that her share in the equity, her equity in this business is increased. So is owner equity, which is in this case is Melissa. All right, so I just put a hint for you so that you know. All right, owner equity increase. So it's the other way, which is this side, the credit side. And how much? 10,000. All right, okay. Don't want to confuse you, delete this. Now, in the description part, what you need to put, very simple, because if you're not sure, you just look at what is the account name. Then you just put equity, which is Melissa. And here is bank. And that's it. So by right, you shouldn't put M here. It's just a hint for you. So you would normally do like that. So this is the answer for the example number 1. Okay, let's have a look of example number 2. In example 2, we are looking at one business. They are buying an asset. On 3rd of June, Melissa has buy the equipment costing 2,500 and she pays using the money in the bank account. Enter this transaction in the double entry account. All right, so in the bank account, we have 10,000 right now, right? And then it's 2,500. You need to purchase an equipment. So I need to open another account, which is equipment. All right. Equipment is something like maybe a machine that Melissa is purchasing. So it's a asset. Put the hint here. By right, you shouldn't put this here. You don't need to put this here. Okay. For an asset increase, so we know that it should be here. So 3rd of June, how much is the equipment? 2,500. So it's asset increase, we do debit. Okay. And then what happened? How you pay for the equipment? You use your bank account money, right? So you need to put bank, which is same as this one right here. And because your asset as a bank has decreased, when asset is decreased, you have to credit, right? So the date, very simple, just put the date here, and amount you already know is 2,500. Okay, and then what to put here, very simple, you just look at this one, so you know it's equipment. Okay, so this is what happened, and this is over here. This is the answer for example number 2. Now let's look at example number 3. Okay, example number 3. On 5th of June, Melissa purchased a computer. The computer was purchased on credit from Sydney and cost 1,000. Enter this transaction into the double entry account. All right, so now we have to know that for this particular thing is about computer. Again, computer is a asset. Just a hint, don't put asset inside your T account name, right? And then when it happened on 5th of June. Okay, how much is that? 1,000. So now you have to think how this transaction happened. It purchased, right? But it's not no longer from the bank account anymore. So you cannot touch this one. Nothing to do with this. It's a credit. So you create one account, purchase from who purchased from. Let me have a look. Xin Okay, we put purchase from Xin Okay, Xin agree that I no need to pay for now. Wow, so nice and kind of Xin And then 5th of June is the date, and then 1,000. Okay, you see, Xin It doesn't mean that give the computer to me for free. Sorry, not me. It's Melissa's business, all right? And then it's a liability. In this case, Xin account actually is a liability. Okay. Liability increased 1,000, so that's why it's going in the credit side. And my asset increased 1,000 as a computer, though that's why it's debit side. It makes sense to you? All right. So in terms of description, very simple. You just put CE here, and then over here you just put computer. And then this is the answer for example number 3. All right. Let's move on to example number 4. Example number 4 is to explain to you when you want to pay your debtor. That means a debtor means someone who actually agree to sell you something with a credit, and now you decide no longer owning money from her or him or the business anymore. That's why you want to pay it off. That means you want to clear the liability. All right. So from the 12th of June, Melissa pays Cindy a full amount. It means pay everything owning from the business bank account, enter this transaction into the double entry account. All right, let's go back to Cindy things. So just now he mentions that it's full, right? So full means what? Originally, I own Cindy 1,000. Of course, I have to pay 1,000 because it's full. What is the date of this example? 12th of June. So Melissa, as a business, already decided to clear off the debt, which is senior account, and then using what method? Using bank account money. So let's have a look of the bank account money. Oops, insufficient space. Allow me to add one more. Okay, in the bank account, have to reduce 1,000. Here, remember, asset reduce have to go in credit side. When it happened? It happens on 12th of June. And then pay to who? Pay to Cindy. So, okay. All right. And then for Cindy, over here, what you need to write? Bank, because this one equals here, and this one equals this one. Right. Let me move the things up so that you can have a clearer picture. Oops, not nice. Okay, let me move the account up there so that you can see the total transaction and complete transaction for this particular example. Okay, for this example number 4, the correct answer is like this. Okay, I hope it made clear. So you see, for senior account currently is 1,000, 1,000. That means you no longer owning money to CE anymore from the business point of view of Melissa company. Okay, so this is the end of this particular video. We will talk about more about purchase and sales ledger in the next video. Thank you and bye.